You are now listening to the Be Your Own #LoveGoals podcast with Moe Ari
and Tiffany.
We just want you to remember that every person, regardless of identity, wants these three things: belonging, authenticity, and love.
And after a decade of partnership, we've learned to co-create these things and so much more.
So from wherever you're listening, we're going to go on a journey of becoming our own #LoveGoals. Now let's get into this episode. Hey, it's Moe Ari
and Tiffany.
And you are now listening to the Be Your Own LoveGoals podcast. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank y'all so much. So we were just sitting here kind of talking and laughing and thinking about the podcast and planning out episodes. And I had this moment where I was really sitting and thinking about, like, when did I know that you were the one? When did I make the connection or integrated that, you know what?
When you saw me for the first time?
My man. I mean, maybe.
She gonna act like she didn't know. We should have a whole episode about how Tiffany doesn't feel like she seduced me.
Gosh, I did not seduce you.
Tiffany seduced me.
We gotta have an episode.
She made me cookies and she gave a cook.
Stop.
She made me cookies and then she gave me cookies.
Ha ha ha. But no, seriously, I feel like there are many moments in our relationship that I can look back on and attribute as these pivotal moments where I was like, oh my God, Moe is the one. One that is sticking out to me, which is one that, in the name of vulnerability, is one that is, it's very, I feel like I was in a vulnerable state in this moment. And for context, I went to grad school in New York City.
At Columbia University in the city of New York. At
Columbia University in the city of New York.
She don't like telling y'all that, but hey, I am proud. Okay?
Oh, thank you. So for the first year living there, I stayed with an aunt. So my dad is originally from New York and a lot of his family is still there. So for the first year, I was staying with the aunt, traveling for a really long time to get, into the city from Brooklyn to school.
It's giving Bed-Stuy.
It's giving Sheepshead Bay, which is very near Coney Island, which is the last stop on the train. Yeah. And then I had to take it pretty much all the way up to. Long story short, I was traveling a long way that first year living with an aunt. Going into my second year, I finally got housing. I was steps away from campus. A decent New York City apartment. It was a studio. And as you all know, New York City is expensive AF.
Yeah.
I was a student.
Yeah.
Very fixed income.
Yeah.
And I needed groceries.
Yeah.
I had some things. I think I had like pinto beans and rice, like very like college, grad school budget food. And I remember being like, man, I really wish I had some other groceries, or I really need groceries, kind of thinking about how I'm going to divvy up the money I had left for the month. Cause you pretty
also
good.
had to eat on the train. Like, you had to do stuff. Yeah.
So much. And so I had to get really good with like managing my money. And for this particular month, I was like, oof, I need some groceries. And so I remember like just sitting there like, am I going to tell him? Am I going to tell him? Now, I also had the same thought about my family and my parents. Like, am I going to tell them? Am I going to tell them? And I was like, nah, I can't. Because I also am a person who has traditionally been preoccupied with whether people worry about me or not.
Yeah.
I'm the oldest child. I'm like, no, I'm good. I don't need nobody to know.
Younger siblings.
Yes. And not wanting to take away from another household. Like all of this stuff that was going through my head. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to build myself up and I'm going to tell Moe. I'm going to say, can you help me with some groceries?
I don't even know if you asked me, honestly.
I'm gonna
let you tell your story.
I don't even think I specifically asked for groceries. I probably asked for a very small amount of money. Yeah. Like, hey, can you spare X? I'll pay you back.
And I probably then inquired.
You probably inquired. I don't know if I was even fully honest with you about the situation. Long story short, 2 hours later, I get an Instacart delivery of groceries, and not just pinto beans and rice, y'all. We talking about produce and meat and all this good stuff for my kitchen, in addition to cash money that he had sent to me from, I think, a recent like work trip. Like you had gotten some sort of reimbursement. And it was in that moment that I was like, damn, this person loves me.
Yeah.
And I think what was so beautiful about it was because I had allowed myself to be vulnerable, not knowing how you would receive it, right? Not knowing if you would be like, you're so bad with your money. Why don't you have money?
Yeah.
Like, I knew you wouldn't, but it's...
People do.
Or, not knowing if you will respond like, well, I don't really got it. Or you fending for yourself. Like, but the fact that you have put so much thought into, one, sending me the groceries, in addition to cash you had sent me, that was way more than anything I had ever asked, was just a real testament to your ability to be thoughtful and sweet and really receive who I was and what I was asking for in my vulnerability. Even when I'm thinking like, he probably think I'm like this poor grad student. He ain't gonna want to be with me no more. I had been a poor grad student. So I feel like, that was definitely a moment where I knew you were the one. And I think even my ability to feel like I could bear it to you and be vulnerable about something that was significant to me at the time was a testament to how I had viewed you and how I knew you would receive me. So
that's powerful.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for sharing that. I'm glad you told me then that you needed some money.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I was like, okay, and what is going on?
Yeah.
Like, when you asked for money, I knew that there was more that you needed, that you weren't the type of person to ask for the whole of what you needed.
Right.
So we were like, I need to just get some groceries, like some bread so I can make some sandwiches. I was like, girl, you are not on my watch, because if I was living in New York, I'd be taking you to dinner. I'd be trying to impress you. So I'm like, the least I can do is offer whatever that money would have been for that week. If we were able to go out, we were long distance at the time. So in my mind, it's like, this is her money, because I want to impress her anyway. And I would be doing all of these things for her if she was in the city. And also, I just don't want you hungry. Like, that just does not feel right to me. And so, and I hated that you had to go up elevators and take the train to go to the grocery store anyway. So I was like, ooh, Instacart. Or Amazon Prime now or something.
It was the first time I had gotten groceries delivered. And I was like, what a luxury. Like, this is beautiful. And I didn't have to do it myself and think about it. And it's the things I like.
Yeah.
You're a keeper.
Oh. Well, really quickly, when I'm thinking about moments where I knew you were the one, it's similar. We've talked about gender transition, and I'm like, definitely like, she's the one. Even outside of like how you responded to like just my authentic self, I'm thinking about moments where I just saw you be unconditional love in other people's lives. So similar to that, like moments of charity. It's funny that the word for love in the Bible is charity. But just that seems like a core value that we share, just being love in each other's lives. And it's not just financial, but one of the ways where I think that people are often missing the charity piece is in the way that we show up financially in other people's lives, because those can be acts of love, those random acts of kindness. And so I can think about being with friends when we were living in Chicago, not any of my friends that are friends now. But I remember how they would treat people who were on the street asking for money. And I remember feeling very awful because I'd be around people that would be like telling them to go away or very upset with them even talking to them. And I didn't grow up with that. My mom was the type of person to give you every single thing she had, or to stop for every person. So for me, it was like, that could easily be us, right? you know, so many of us have
Easily.
experienced being paycheck to paycheck. So if you missed that opportunity, or you missed that job, or you got laid off, whatever, you had a health issue, you could easily be in need of something. So for me to see you just openly give money to people was like a yes, because my mind was already activated by the ways I had seen people be ugly to other people as an adult. So when I saw you just stop and give people money, or say things that I thought only I said, like, I'll be like, I think I had a moment where you gave somebody something. You were like, well, I had that cash and I didn't know why I was carrying it. It must have been for them. Yeah. I literally say that. So we had these moments where I was like, that's the kind of love I want to build with another person. That's the kind of legacy I want to have as our family legacy. And so I knew you were the kind of person that just doesn't see people as money, or you don't see people, you see beyond that with people. You think about how you can be loving their lives, and you offer it up. I think about moments where we've seen people in the dead of winter in Chicago without a coat circle back around to see if they wanted our coats. Yes. They were like, no, I'm going to get some coats. So they said they're fine. But we just couldn't be. We would give them our coats off our beds in the dead of winter in Chicago. We're in a car. Yes, I will figure it out. We'll figure it out. But they're outside in blizzard weather, no coat on. So those are the moments where I was like, she's the one. We can do this love together. We can create love together. We get to create a legacy together because we are aligned in our vision for a benevolent community and a benevolent world where the glass is more full than it is empty, or a world where people literally will give you the coat off of their backs. A world that is just inherently good versus a world where everybody sees things as negative, or people are out to get each other. And because I knew that we were on the same value system, I was like, we can do this thing. Beyond all the ways you've shown up as unconditional love for me. So thank you for allowing me the space to say that.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. And it really makes me think about, what does it mean to have found the one? Or even more than that, like, how do you know someone is the one, and what's the one? What is that? Yeah. And I think it's a question that many people ponder. I think that it's probably a question that's like, that comes up when you're wondering, like, if I take the next step, or do I want to be married to this person? Do I want to move in with the person? And so we were both describing moments that felt like we knew that the other person was the one. But when we say the one, what are we talking about? What are you talking about? And I think for me, when I say the one, it's like, it means the person that I want to do life with, and not just do things, but like be myself with. Bring all of who Tiffany is to the table, and be that person, and feel comfortable being that person, and also doing the things, traveling, and all of that together. That's what I think about when I think about the one.
I love what you said. I'm gonna echo that, and I'm gonna pose that to the audience right now for you to sit with that and ponder that as we continue in the episode. I'm gonna give more of my thoughts as we go on, but I love how Tiffany framed that, so I don't want to mess with that. Ask yourself, what do you mean by the one? Because many of us have all said that, like, I'm looking for the one, or I have the one, or whatever. What do you mean by the one? And then see if that shifts or changes, or you expand it as this episode goes on. But I want us to have that in context during this episode. So I'm not gonna mess with what you already said. But there's a question that needs answering, Tiff. So I'm gonna let you take that question that needs answer away.
Okay. So the question is, I met this woman 5 years ago, and it was like love at first sight. The moment she walked into the room, I knew she was special. We had a whirlwind kind of romance for about 6 months. One day, she told me her ex was trying to make her way back into her life, and that she wanted to give her another chance. While she said it was painful for her to have to make that choice, they had way more history. She didn't want to risk that history on someone she'd only known for 6 months.
Yeah.
They have now moved to another state and are married. I still feel like she was the one that got away. Mm-hmm. It's been hard to really move on and open up to other people. How do I know if she's the one?
Whew, that's hard.
That hit me.
I mean, that question in itself is challenging. First, I just want to share love for anybody who's experienced any kind of loss, mm-hmm. or there's this lingering feeling of like, how do I know if that person is the one? Are they the one that got away? That's a difficult place to be in. I'm moved by the thought of having lived a whirlwind romance for even 6 months, because I think that that's something that many people wait lifetimes for. And so I just want to lay that with you. If you've gotten to experience love for even 6 months, that person didn't really get away. They may have served the time that they were supposed to serve in your life, and it was beautiful and meaningful. And just because they're not here now doesn't take away from that. And I've lived that, so I just empathize a lot. Just because they're not in your life now doesn't mean that love wasn't as powerful as it was for that moment. And in saying that, now I'm getting back to that question of how do you know if you found the one? What does the one mean? And then, like, how do we know if this person is the one for my questions that needs answered? I'm wrapping it all into one now with what I'm going to say. So listen closely.
Okay, I'm tuned in now.
The one is not a person. It's a choice. Ooh. Now, I've spent 10 years as a marriage and family therapist, so I get to say that with like this smoothness.
Can you say it one more time? One more time for the people in the back.
The one is not a person, it's a choice. It kind of like reverberates. I love that. The one is not a person, it's a choice. And the reason why I say that is because no matter how beautiful the connection is, how infinite your connection or your vibe is, no matter how much that resonates, that chemistry that really reverberates throughout your consciousness, your body across space and time, no matter how ethereal it is, without that choice, you don't have a commitment. You don't have a relationship. You don't have a future. You're just left with infinite possibilities. So now remember, I started this by saying I've lived this heartbreak that this person is talking about. And I know what it's like to love someone for a short time and have to accept that they were only meant to be in my life for that amount of time. And so I'm saying on the other side of that, I also understand that without the choice being made by both people or all the parties involved, then you only have the possibility of what could have been. Now you have the reality of what could be. So what are you going to create? Are you going to choose someone else? So I understand when it's hard to open up after you've been hurt or move on to another person thinking that they're the one that got away, but they could never get away from you. Why? Because nothing that is for you will ever pass you over. Whether they circle back in this lifetime or not, love will never be kept from you. And so I'm encouraging anybody that's in that space to allow yourself to be open. You deserve love. You deserve that to show up for you in another form. And I believe that like this is a natural law, but I love repeating it because I love when science backs the very ethereal things that we say and think. But just that nothing's ever created or destroyed. Matter is not created or destroyed, only changed in form. That means if that love, it leaves your life, it's going to find its way back in another form. It's not that it's ever destroyed. It's just going to change in form. So that person is gone, but the love that exists between you and your connection to whoever you're going to end up with, that's going to remain the same. It's going to change in form, and you can create that with another person. But you need that choice. You need a person that's going to actively choose you. That other person that left you, that previous girlfriend chose her ex because that was the choice that she made. I don't have to judge it. I'm just going to observe that choice. because the inclination is to say because she didn't want to be blah,
exactly.
blah, blah. But
that was a choice.
It was her choice. And so because she chose that person is the one. And even if the one is for that moment or however long they stay together, not your business, because you know what? You're going to be off living your life with the one that you chose. And that one can be so infinite. Why? Because the person chose you back.
Oof. Drops the mic. No, yes, all of that. All of that. And I will just add that I feel like oftentimes we give our power away when we don't make a choice or we don't recognize that every decision is a choice. Now, based on your values, based on your morals, based on your standard of how you want to live your life, you may feel like your options are limited or there's only one option. Yeah. Now, I'm speaking as an expert in this right now because I just had to learn this lesson months ago.
I was going to say, this sounds like Tiffany talking from her heart.
So I just would like to offer that there is always a choice. Now, like I said, based on you and how you choose to live your life, those choices may feel more limited or it may feel like there's only one. But there's always a choice and there's always an array of choices that you can make. And so I love that you're saying we don't choose a person. That a person isn't the one. Choice is the one. Yeah. And I feel that on a deep level, outside of relationship, when you think about jobs, when you think about anything that you want to invest your time and resources and passions into, like you always have a choice. Yeah. And it's not always that job or that person or that house even. Yeah. It is our ability and willingness and commitment to choose that thing.
I love what you're saying. This is a powerful lesson because so often in our society, people assigned female at birth are taught to and conditioned to wait for someone to choose them. Yes. How powerful is it that we're saying you get to choose, you decide. You don't have to wait to be chosen. You're choosing someone who will also choose you. And Tiffany is speaking directly to that conditioning by saying you give your power away when you wait for someone to arrive and be the one. Yes. Without recognizing that you're actively making a choice, you give your power away. And so it's important for anybody who's listening, especially people who have been assigned female at birth, to understand that you don't have to just wait to be chosen. And that choosing is an active process for all people involved. And don't choose people who are not choosing you back. And when the choice, and again, choice is continuous, right? Yeah. So you don't choose and then you're done. You continuously choose, and you choose every single morning. You choose to say, I love you. You choose to make the coffee. You choose to spend holidays and birthdays. The choice to be the one and to choose the one, continues over and over and over again.
I totally agree. That choice thing is so important. And I know that this may seem like heady. It may seem like intellectual. Like, what do you mean? Like, you don't choose a person. I mean, a person isn't the one, but choice is the one. And I'm wondering, like moving into our hashtag love resources, what are tangible ways that we can think about the one and how to go about exploring who's the one, or just thinking about what choice would look like for a person in relationship.
Thank you, Tiffany. Yeah. Wow. I'm just still taking a deep breath.
You dropped some gems, okay?
You dropped some gems, okay? So I'm thinking, pulling from my little therapy knapsack, let's say I have a little bag of therapy tools here. I like this exercise of making a list. I've heard a lot of people talking about it on social media and other things. And then just like old schools would tell you to make a list. But my challenge with the traditional list is that it really focuses just on the qualities you want in a partner. The reason why I don't agree with this is because choosing the one or making the choice about who the one is in your life or is going to be has to be about your vision for relationship, just as it is about their vision for relationship. Right. Making the choice about who is going to be the one just based on what qualities you want in a person is not enough. You have to make that choice based on what your vision for long-term relationship and partnership looks like. So I invite you to make this list. This is a new kind of list, and I invite you to share this with your friends. So we're going to make a list of qualities, but rather than just focusing on the partner, we're going to focus on the goals and visions for our future as well. So I invite you to make 4 columns on your page. So that means you're going to have 4 different sections. In the first column to your left, I want you to put your long-term goals and how you want your life to be set up. So I want you to spend some time dreaming and really thinking about how you want your life to be. And don't just focus on how you want it to look. That means don't just focus on what you want externally. Focus on also on how you want it to feel. So try to make that list about your long-term goals for the relationship and how you want it to feel, as well as how you want it to look. Second column, I want you to put checks on each row where your long-term goal matches something you know that your partner wants. So if you have this long-term goal that you'll have a house by the time you're 30 and you know your partner wants that, put a check. If you have this goal in the first column that says, I want 2 kids and you know that your partner also wants that, put a check. Now, if they don't want that, put an X. If they do want those things, but you're not really quite sure if you're agreeing on the quantity or if you're not even sure if they want those things, put a question mark. Do not put a check unless you are certain that they want that, because this is going to keep you honest as you go down this list. In the third column, I want you to put a list of qualities you want in a long-term partner. No physical qualities. Just internal qualities. The reason why I say physical qualities is because we are not the creator. We don't get to choose the external package that all of the good stuff comes in. And you will get somebody you're attracted to if you just trust that the internal qualities will guide you to that attraction. So focusing on the physical, though, only keeps it superficial and surface. And we really got to go deep in order to do this right. So in the fourth column, I want you to put checks on each row where the qualities match your ideal qualities in a partner. So in the third column, you put your ideal qualities that you want in a partner. In the fourth column, you're going to put a check where your partner matches those ideal qualities. You're going to put an X if they don't and a question mark if you're not really sure. Yeah. And wherever you have question marks, this is going to prompt you to have to go get a little information and dig and understand a little bit more before you can really complete this exercise. But it's really important to go all the way through and then take a survey of your question marks and then go get, more support. The rules here would be to focus on long-term goals and short-term goals. Be honest with yourself. Don't lie to yourself to make it look better because you really want that relationship, or don't, make it look worse because you really want out. Really be honest. Do this exercise privately and be open to what you find. Don't try to sway the results by doing it with your partner or something like that. You won't have an honest tool of measuring if you do that. If you need the support of a friend, I suggest a friend that is supportive of your relationship so that they're neutral. Right. Or do it with a therapist. And then the skills you'll acquire through this exercise will be around self-awareness, self-assessment, and foresight. You'll be able to look kind of long-term at the relationship and whether or not it has potential. So that's our #love resource. We're going to call that Making a New Kind of List.
I love that. That's really good. I should have did that. I'm just kidding. But I do think that it turns the making a list on its head, the more traditional one that's like, these are the things I gotta have. It adds the nuance that's necessary for, I think, people to really get what they want.
Yeah.
And to really connect to how they want to feel. And so I think that's beautiful.
Thank you.
Do. Yeah.
Well, I love sharing these therapy tools with you all.
Thank you so much. So before we end, I know we want to get to our truth or truth question, or like, would you rather combination of whatever game we want to call it. So today I'm going to read it really quickly, and that is, would you rather have a long distance relationship or be alone?
I mean, I'd rather have a long distance relationship. We've already been in a long distance relationship, and it can definitely work.
Yeah.
I do like my solitude, but I have also gained so much love in my life by having Tiffany, by having our daughter Nova. So I'd rather be long distance. Now, it's harder at this point in our relationship. Like if I just had to go, work somewhere else, like in another country for some months, being on a different time zone is very challenging. It's different when you're in a state where you're only an hour away. So I would say that would be challenging, but I wouldn't want to be alone because of it. Those are extremes.
Yeah, I agree. I think having gone through it and realizing that it can work with a lot of intention, and the fruit is so beautiful. I choose long distance every single day. Now, was it challenging? Absolutely. But what I've gotten from it outweighs those nights where I was like, man, I wish Mo was here so we could go out on a date night in person and not on FaceTime. But we made it happen, and we're here now.
We're here now.
So I would definitely, I choose long distance over and over.
I choose love over and over again. In any form, I'm going to choose love.
And that's that on that.
That's that on that. Well, this has been Be Your Own Love Goals with Moe Ari
and Tiffany.
Have a great day and be well.
Bye. If you're listening to this on Apple Podcasts, don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe. Video episodes are on YouTube and Spotify.
If you want your question included in an upcoming episode, feel free to reach out to us on Instagram at Be Your Own Love Goals, or check out our website at lovegoalspodcast.com. We look forward to hearing from you soon.
Bye.